we are now to the theme 3.
Thank you. Next, we'll hear from Carl Gutbrod from MediaBlue. Again, sorry if I mispronounced your name. I would like you to talk about how weather forecasting is progressing and how it is changing the profession of the weather forecaster.
Thank you very much. I would like to agree with the previous speakers, and artificial intelligence is really enabling us to make better forecasts. We're able to combine models and get quantum leaps in precision in the range of 20% as compared to the single models alone. I think I'd like to put another message here on behalf of the private sector. This can only be done with a big public effort which has been invested into the infrastructure and the models as such. So we will not be able to do this alone as a private sector. So this fundamental infrastructure necessity has to be communicated to the stakeholders, to the public and politicians. We cannot replace that with private competition. And the other message I'd like to do is place is that with the evolution of forecasting, the ability to use those data will increase so massively that we have to jointly work on the different value chains and see how we can index and better characterize these data so we have common understanding. Thank you very much.
Next person I'd like to invite to speak is Andrew Eccleston, General Secretary, of Primet. Basically the same question. How do you see the roles of public sector, the NMHS's private sector meeting the demand of services, coordination, cooperation? How is it working in Europe?
Thank you very much. I must apologise for arriving late. I was actually waiting in the wrong place. I arrived here so early today that the signs weren't up. But I'm very, very pleased to be here, and thank you for inviting me. The most important thing to emphasise is that the private sector needs the public sector to operate well and to be well funded. And so the private sector, certainly the members that I represent, will always help to support at the political interface, which is where the control often comes from. The other thing to bear in mind is that the picture varies enormously from one country to another, how the relationship works and the demands that the governments place on the national weather services. So there will always be quite a difference between one region and another about how we deal with this. And I think the most important benchmark is how we serve the community. And anything that gets in the way of serving the community in the best way we can with the best science we have and the best technology we have is unfortunate if there's a barrier. And one of the risks is that the public sector may seek to control the value chain between the science and the end user, and that's something that we need to be mindful of.